opportunities for UAE companies within Africa. Because one of the things that you have to accept, we live in a global economy, we live in a global society. These days, just getting on your phone, you are in a global, situation. Because just even WhatsApp, if we think about WhatsApp, which is what most of us use, is really a global platform. And so the idea is for you to be in business these days, you really have to think global. And so the idea is, how then can you position yourself, and how then can you position your business to go global? And let me see if we can have, hi William. Hi William.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Oh boy, I can see myself, but that's okay. Keep going.
Okay, so we'll kick off with the first segment where we're looking at what are those business opportunities in Africa. Now, the truth of the matter is we can't cover all the opportunities that are available in Africa for really global players. But maybe we can just start and just, I would say scratch the surface. So one major area is venture capitalists. Why? Because you're dealing with one of the youngest population on earth. You're dealing with one of the places with a lot of opportunities. And I know when you talk of African opportunities, everybody talks about our gold, everybody talks about our solar. But the one thing that people have not even begun talking about is the population. Because we have a very young population who are extremely entrepreneurial. And one of the things a lot of even employers who have employed people from different economies will tell you, if you employ an African, particularly countries like Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Malawi, they are extremely entrepreneurial in the sense that they're very good at solving problems, coming up with new ideas. And so when it comes to, but one of the challenges that we have is access to capital. Because the infrastructure for business in terms of banks and all that is not well put together. So there's a huge gap for venture capitalists to come in and bridge the gap. Because and one of the things I honestly believe is that the next major billionaires are definitely going to come from Africa. And the question is, are you going to jump on that wagon now, or are you going to wait for them to go get funding and then you'll be reading them in the news? So venture capitalism definitely is one of those areas. Market expansion, which is something we've been very passionate about at Mawaida and also UAE Africa Networking Group. This is where companies from the UAE are breaking into Kenya, breaking into Africa. And of course, the quick tip I'll tell you, if you're breaking into East Africa, start with Kenya. If you're breaking into South Africa, obviously start with South Africa. If you're breaking into West Africa, start with either Ghana or Nigeria. So market entry, we'll get into some of the challenges and why people, some of the challenges that people face when trying to break into this market. But definitely expanding. Again, Africa has a growing middle class. One of the fastest growing middle class, fastest growing economies are all in Africa. These are markets which don't produce a lot of things in-house. So whether you're talking of real estate, if you're in real estate, there's a huge huge population of high net worth individuals who are looking for safe investment. For example, right now, if you know, until recently, I think our Kenya shilling was quite weak against the dollar, but it's now fighting hard. But of course, we have a lot of currency fluctuations, hyperinflation, and so what is happening all across Africa? A lot of high net worth people are looking for investments and also to diversify the investment, because the thing is, especially during election time, you get some political volatility, and definitely so people are looking, how can I diversify my investment portfolio? So there's a lot of high net worth individuals who are looking for alternative investment, and definitely real estate and other investment portfolios are very, very attractive to them. Also, as a market, whether you're talking of manufactured products, whether you're talking of designer products, any type of product that you're thinking of expanding into Africa, definitely there's a lot of opportunity there. Another major opportunity to look into is infrastructure investment. This is either performing sectors. Again, I won't cover every single highly performing sector, but I hope I can basically start and scratch the surface. So one major area is agribusiness. Okay. This is real estate ownership. I see Jeffrey E. Baja is saying that's correct. We've got 2 properties in Africa from UAE Turkey International Real Estate Fractional Ownership Company. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for that, Jeffrey. So agribusiness is one of those, I'm telling you, especially the sectors I'm telling you, is one of those areas that has very high potential. Not just the areas that are high performing, but the areas that have high potential. The truth of the matter is in Kenya, we don't produce, there's very few products that we produce that we meet the demand of. For example, if you're talking of our coffee, we don't produce enough coffee. We don't produce enough avocado. We don't produce enough sisal, and all those are, produce and products that are, the environment is very well catered for. And so the idea is anyone who comes into agribusiness finds the right partnership. Now, of course, the caveat for all this is you really must find the right partners, and you really must find the right way to enter. Later on in this presentation, we'll be talking to Henry, who is a Kenyan entrepreneur who opened his tech company in Dubai. And of course, he'll be telling you the power and importance of networking, the power and importance of getting the right way to enter a market. And so agribusiness and value addition. So if you're talking of, let's say, avocado, if you're talking of avocado, moving into not just producing avocado, but producing oil. Okay, if you're talking of sunflower, any produce, value addition, that's a huge area that's just literally waiting for you. The other area is the creative sector. I mean, right now, if you look at the everywhere, look at the Oscars, look at the Grammys, you'll see African actors, African musicians. Africa is really on the map when it comes to the creative sector, whether you're talking of fashion, whether you're talking of influencers and all that kind of thing. And the beauty about the creative sector is it's easy to scale up, because literally you're not going to dig somewhere for gold. You're not going to look for supply chains. It's literally just someone's talent. You pick them up. As long as you have the right people who understand about branding, who understand about positioning, who understand, and also people who know how to pick. Imagine if someone picks a Burna Boy 5-10 years before they are Burna Boy. Again, and right now, I mean, the performance fees for Burna Boy and Davido are just insane. We're talking of 300,000. Some of our African acts are getting to even $1 million, performance fee. So you can imagine if you get in at the ground floor of an artist who has a lot of potential and just invest in them and then reap the benefit later on. Also tech, like I said, we'll have Henry who will talk more about tech a bit later on. But tech is one of those areas that is huge. I mean, everybody knows about M-Pesa and mobile money. We have a lot of venture capitalists who've come in and really gotten into the tech space. Because again, like I said, we have entrepreneurial people, very sharp people. And I would say the interesting thing is because of the huge and unique challenges of Africa, you are really forced to be very, very innovative. And so that's one of the beautiful things that you get when you're working with players in this side of the market. So tech is one of those areas that has a lot of potential. A lot of investment has already gone into it. We have Amazon who've come into this space. We have, and so the idea is how can you come in on the ground floor? And I mean, investment and growth of investment is all about getting in on the ground floor and then rising with the sector. So now let's look at some of the challenges that a lot of people who are trying to get into this market usually face. And this is something, and once William comes on board, we'll probably share more about this because we've done a lot of projects with him on this. So one is market segmentation. One thing you have to appreciate is that Africa we are actually I think it's 3,000 tribes, okay? 43 countries, I guess. So it's a huge cosmopolitan collection of people. And one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of companies make is thinking this is Africa. And so is really thinking that Africa is one country. So you'll find people who come in and they use a very generic way of looking at it. Maybe you've already gotten into, and maybe this is something that we will look at in future editions. You've probably come in, you're probably operating in one market, and then you're trying to break into another market. Let's say maybe you're in South Africa and you're trying to break into Kenya, and there's that misconception of, oh, I'm already in South Africa, so Kenya is an easy thing, I'll be able to break in easily. But the truth of the matter is, it's like comparing apples and oranges, man. South Africa, and in future editions, we'll probably give you more information on this. But we've had South African companies, and maybe for the sake of, keeping not messing up with people's brands, but we've had many South African companies that have tried to break into Kenya, and they've not been able to do it. Then we've had a lot of multinationals that have tried to take a product that's working in Kenya, take it to South Africa, take it to Nigeria. It's not worked. So one of the things we really encourage people is that markets are highly segmented. Even within the Kenyan market, the market here is extremely segmented. So the idea is, don't come in and think Africa is one generic group. This is a very huge population, very segmented not just in terms of the culture, but also languages, and then now the regions and countries. So market segmentation is one of those things that you really need to invest in to understand which country am I getting into, what are the market segments that play there, and then from there, how can you then go ahead and penetrate that market. So we're still trying to get William in. We're still trying to get William in, so I'll just continue with the presentation even as we wait, and hopefully we'll get our senior statesman William joining us a bit later on, because I'm able to add him, but I don't know why I can't see his.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't.
Yes.
I can't see you.
Can you see me now? Can anybody in the audience see me? Anybody in the audience?
Maybe guys in the audience, you can tell us. Can you see William? Guys in the audience, you can tell us. Can you see William?
Yeah, nobody can see.
Okay. Hazel Gombeni is saying you can see William. Awesome. I guess it's just a problem with my back end.
And the guys that are here cannot see me.
No, you see.
Yeah, the guys who are on the show, they can't see me. But the audience can.
No, but we can hear. No one can see you, but they can hear you. They just see a black and your name. Technical difficulties.
That's okay. Let us proceed.
No one can see you, but they can hear you.
Let us go. We're ready.
Okay, awesome. So let me just finish my part. It's unfortunate we can't see the handsome face of our elder statesman.
And I dressed up.
We'll be able.
Yeah, I dressed up.
And you dressed up for us.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe someone on LinkedIn, maybe someone else who's watching on LinkedIn can check it out and tell us, can you say William? That can be a nice game. So anyway, moving on very swiftly, we have another major challenge that a lot of companies were trying to break into Africa generally, and I already mentioned it. Generic approach. A lot of guys come in. Maybe you're a multinational, and I've experienced this both on PR side, market side, sales, your channels, how you create your channels, and I've seen this across multiple industries. You come in, you're a multinational, maybe a particular method has worked in other markets, and so you come in and you're like, I'm gonna do this the way I've done it in other markets, and it completely flops. And again, I go back to the issue of cultures. You're dealing with multiple cultures, multiple way of doing things. And let me tell you how intense this is. As a consultant in Kenya, I'm often explaining to Kenyans how Kenyans operate. So if I have to explain to a Kenyan how the Kenyan market operates, how much more do we have to explain to someone who's coming from Dubai, someone who's coming from Ras Al Khaimah, Abu Dhabi, even someone who's coming from Ghana? Okay, and vice versa. Someone who the Kenyan market is very different from Rwanda. It's very different from South Africa, from Kigali, from all these countries, Tanzania. Every single country is very, very different. And maybe we will probably put together a masterclass on market segmentation just so that you can get to understand the nuances. Okay, and the reason why, like, I'll give you an example. There was an insurance firm that was selling a product, and this particular product is it was an insurance product for your funeral. So you save up, you pay, and then on your funeral, the insurance firm will hold on. I'm just seeing. Okay. Just hold on. Let me try send William another link. Hopefully we can get him on. Okay. So this particular insurance product was a product where you pay the policy, and then on your funeral, the company pays for all your expenses. Sounds beautiful, sounds great. Worked excellently in South Africa. But in Kenya, it was a complete flop. Why? Because of the culture here. It's not culturally accepted for you to think of your death or to plan for your death or to, that kind of a relationship with your death where you're saving up and paying for your death. That doesn't work here. And then the other thing, in Kenya, we have a culture where if you have a funeral, people will contribute, and people feel that's their way of saying sorry, or saying they're sending the way Kenyans send their condolences is by sending contributions. Okay. So the thing is, so if you're coming into this market and you don't know that simple, small element of how the culture works here, your entire product will collapse just because of that. And so that generic approach never works for anyone who's trying to do media and PR. Even if you're a media, even if you're a media agency, or you're a PR agency, communication agency, you have this piece of communication that's working across Africa. In Kenya, you'll need to definitely contextualize so that you can really have an easier time. Then the other thing is a short runway. A lot of guys come in and they think, for example, we've had a lot of interest from Dubai, and Dubai, the business cycle is for real estate is very quick. But in Kenya, people take a bit of more time. People need time. They need to see the product. They need to investigate, because we've had a lot of fraud cases surrounding real estate. So obviously, anyone investing in real estate will be a bit more cautious. However, in other markets, that sales cycle is very quick. So if you come in and you're thinking, I'm just going to come in a month, 2 months, and I'm making my returns and I'm up and running, that's not going to work. You have to be ready to have, the long runway, so then you can take off. And one of the reasons why a lot of companies don't take off in this market is because of that. They come in, they have a very short runway, and they just never get there. So those are just that's a very, very basic presentation, just to give you an introduction. Today we don't have a lot of time to go deeply into absolutely everything that you need to know. So I'm going to try bringing William now. Hi, William.
You got me now? Am I here? Am I on the show?
Nah, we still can't see your. We still can't see your video, but just continue.
No, it worked earlier. So greetings, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. I got to thank you, Bonnie, for putting this together. You're a genius, man. That's all I can say. Thank you so much for making this happen. You wanted to confuse me, man. You wanted to change the name to Africa, UAE, and I'm so used to saying UAE Africa, so I gotta switch it around today. So my name is William Stenhouse. I am the founder of the UAE Africa Networking Group. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, UAE Africa Networking Group, since 2016, here in Dubai, we have been connecting the continent, and that's from South Africa all the way up to Egypt. We have today over 14,000 nationalities. And when I tell young African entrepreneurs about this market, you have to look at it from a different lens. Don't look at it as only 10 million people. Look at it as 200 plus new markets that you're currently not in. We connect the UAE and the diaspora of Africa through our network of vetted members. We support SMEs to connect, whether it's Canada, whether it's Europe, it doesn't matter. We now have links into these markets from the UAE. We support existing businesses within the market through quality relationships. We provide learning and mentoring opportunities through our network of seasoned, distinguished professionals. And we work with 7 African governments in terms of helping them to get the most out of the market here in the UAE. As I said, we've been doing this since 2016. Henry, you're going to hear from him in a few minutes. Some of the things that we do are we have a series called the Titans of Africa, which is our premier offering. It helps you as someone who is distinguished in your particular field or your particular market, where we get to tell your story. Actually, you get to tell your story. We give you a platform where you can actually tell a positive narrative about doing business in Africa. My third one will be the global edition. So where we will actually tell African American stories, African Caribbean stories, African Iranian stories, and so forth and so on. We do business events, whether it's Uganda, Tanzania, Zimbabwe. We do something called the CEO's Roundtable, where we actually talk about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area here in the UAE. We're covered in a lot of the Africa. I'm going to cover just a few of them that may be relative to this audience. We do something called IWIN, which is inspiring women in the network. During the lockdown of COVID, we helped upskill and upscale 42 women. And today, 6 of these women have their products in the UAE, and 2 of these women from the 42 actually have their products in the US as well. So this is a program that we will continue to deliver. during International Women's Month, we do something called the 12 Inspiring and Entrepreneurial Women. We've been doing this for the last 5 years. And this is really a pat on the back. It's a celebration, and where we give these women from across the world and across Africa their flowers. And we basically say, we see you, we see the great work that you're doing, and we're happy to support you. Keep going. Some other members and provide a nice package. So why SMEs? You know, when you look at SMEs across Africa, 88% of all businesses in Africa are SMEs. 44 million SMEs in Sub-Sahara, in Kenya, in East Africa, West Africa, and South Africa today. 5.2 billion raised in VC funding. About in the UAE as well. Six of the top markets for Africa for VC funds were Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Tanzania, and Egypt. So that's encouraging, and that's growing as we speak. Now let's talk about the UAE, and I brought one of our partners to the table from Ras, which is one of the free zones here in the UAE, and he's going to talk about how easy it is to not thought about. When you look around the world, the UAE is very unique in its offering. It's one of the few markets, whether it's Europe, Canada, or the US, where you as an African can walk in, put your passport down, get a visa, set up a company, and stay long term. There's not too many places in the world where you as an African, whether you're Kenyan, Ugandan, Somali, and the leadership here for creating this great community and this great place and platform where you can do business. Now, very quickly, I want to get to what are some of the top industries that you as an entrepreneur can tap into. One is tourism and hospitality. This is an area that continues to grow. As some of you may know, there's 7 Emirates in the UAE. The main states, if you will, are tourism and hospitality opportunity. The second one is real estate. Real estate in this market is continuing to grow, and there's unlimited opportunities in the real estate space, whether it's technology, whether it's sales, or whether it's development. If you're a developer and you're looking for a market outside of Africa, I would strongly encourage you to look at the UAE as one of those options. It just continues to grow. Trade and logistics. The other one is fintech, financial services. It's a huge market, huge opportunity here. I know technology is a big product there in Kenya. You have a strong nucleus of technology companies. You ought to be looking to expand into this market and what services you can offer even into this market. When you look around the world, everyone needs solutions. There's always problems that can be solved. The other one is retail in e-commerce. Again, quite a few opportunity for tech startups in e-commerce businesses that are looking to expand from where they are today. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about is also, again, technology and innovation. When you look at Sharjah, you look at Abu Dhabi, and you look at Dubai, all of these Emirates are always looking for the next in what's new in terms of cutting edge technology and innovation. And there's lots of funds and a lot of support here. And what it has to offer, we're very proud to support this initiative, the Africa UAE Business Summit. And guys, this is just the first of many summits virtually to come. Like I said, we've brought some professionals and some organizations that we know that you're going to benefit from, and we're going to continue to do this. So back over to you, Bonnie, so we can introduce our next guest.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is William Stenhouse, the founder and CEO of UAE Africa Networking Group. When I started getting into Dubai and starting to look for ways which I can now, really break into Dubai in terms of business, everybody told me, talk to William, talk to William, talk to William, talk to William. So, and I kid you not, that is William, and he always got your back. So I think now we're going to bring in Adash from Ras Al Khaimah. Hi, Adash.
Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
I'm good.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, hope all of you are doing well. Bonnie, thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be invited here and to make sure that we can inform and we can provide education in terms of how our individuals, specifically from Africa, can come to the UAE and tap into the market while there is still the opportunities available. So let me introduce myself really quickly. My name is Adarsh. Everyone calls me Addy. So please feel free to call me Addy also. I am a business advisor from Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone, from the government of Ras Al Khaimah. So just to start off with the basics, as Dr. William also mentioned, there are 7 emirates, how we have provinces, how we have states. In many parts of the world, in certain countries, we call them emirates. So we have Abu Dhabi, Dubai, we have Sharjah. So we also have Ras Al Khaimah. So we are the organization, a government entity, which assists individuals who want to set up companies or other companies in different countries who want to come here and establish their presence here in the UAE. And we issue them the business license. We incorporate their company. We provide visas. We get everything done for them. So how would you describe Ras Al Khaimah when it comes to all the other emirates? And if you want to compare Ras Al Khaimah and all the other emirates with Ras Al Khaimah. I was speaking to Bonnie some time ago, and I mentioned that how Dubai was 15 years ago, that is what Ras Al Khaimah is right now. Only if you knew what Dubai would be right now, you would have definitely tapped in 15 years ago. But this time, it's a clear-cut opportunity to establish your company or to buy real estate or even just come in for a few days for a holiday. It's an up and growing emirate with the world's biggest casino also coming into the GCC. By 2027, due to which the real estate prices have been hiking, is going more than Dubai. If you do a little bit of research, I see Jeffrey that he's a global ambassador for an international real estate fractional ownership company. Jeffrey, you should do a little bit of research. You will see that Ras Al Khaimah is growing in terms of real estate, which can give you a lot more opportunities as well. As you've mentioned, you have a few properties in Dubai. You should definitely consider Ras Al Khaimah also. But of course, getting back on track, I'm into not into real estate, but I am into helping you set up your company. So If we can go further on to the presentation, I can explain a little bit about Ras Al Khaimah. So our entity, our government entity, it's called Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone. So we are a free zone entity, and we enable entrepreneurs and companies from outside the UAE to establish in the UAE and to either trade or have a company in media, services, e-commerce, single-family offices, multi-family offices, holding companies to be established here in the UAE. So UAE is known to, when it comes to Ras Al Khaimah, it's known to be master of all when it comes to, let's say, mining, hospitality, adventure, holiday stays, hotels. It is the up-and-coming emirate in the UAE. So as you can see here as well in this slide, that when it comes to tourism, we have the highest mountain peak in the UAE. It gets really cold. Trust me, sometimes it snows there in the UAE. Can you imagine? And also, as you can see, the Guinness World Record-breaking firework display is always done in Ras Al Khaimah. Of course, we have the Burj Khalifa here in Dubai, but you should definitely check out once. You'll forget Burj Khalifa. Of course, we are the largest ceramic manufacturer as well. It's our own in-house company, and you can see rack ceramics almost all over the world. And we also have multiple companies which manufacture armored vehicles, especially for the UAE army and other armies of the world. So it comes to businesses, tourism, adventure, nature, we've got it all. Going to the next slide of the presentation, we also tell you on how to get your company set up. What should be your first step to establish yourself in the UAE? Can we have the next slide, please? Perfect. So as you can see on the map, Ras Al Khaimah is the northmost emirate. So let's say if you're a trader, or let's say if you import and export, that's the first port that comes in the UAE. So you save on freight costs, you save on shipping costs. Of course, the second point, COVID safe. I know it's been some time now. Time has flown since the 2019 pandemic. But still, what it means is that as it's the first port, you're very far away from many of the things which will make sure that your goods are not infected, not just with COVID, but anything else. It's safe, it's secure, it's hygienic. That's what we have to make sure when it comes for especially food and beverage industry. Also, as you can see that as is the first, the top emirate, the shipping cost as mentioned is done. And also you can access other GCC countries. For example, Oman would be literally 10 to 15 kilometers right after the Ras Al Khaimah port. You can access Saudi. You are in the Middle East. The opportunities in terms of import and export becomes massive because you can access the world very, very easily. Going to the next slide, we will move forward on a little bit more about Rakesh and how we can set up your company. So what's the difference between setting up in Dubai or in Abu Dhabi or Ras Al Khaimah? There is no difference. The only major difference, it is very cost effective. So we are a pure government entity. We are not a public, semi-private company. We're a pure government entity which cuts off private investors, and you need to pay private investors, right? We don't have private investors, due to which our costs are extremely low. And you can set up your company very easily. Usually how it works is that it takes maximum 5 working days to set up a company. And all the documentation, all the legalization is done for you. And you also are eligible for a residency once you set up your company. And the best part about setting up in Ras Al Khaimah, with Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone specifically, is you get a free for lifetime visa. You will not have to pay for the visa ever. You don't have to pay for the visa initially. You don't pay for the visa later on. You never pay for the visa. If you ever set up a company with us, you will always get to stay here. Of course, till the company is running, we will make sure that you stay here. We want to make sure that we accommodate and we welcome our investors from all over the world to the UAE. They can take the advantage of low taxes, of the strategic location of the ports, of the facilities that we have here in Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone. And as I mentioned, that you can try and you can establish multiple types of companies, not just trading, not just import and export. It could be in e-commerce, it could be in media, it could be services, holding companies. You can even manufacture. We have land, we have warehouses, we have plots. We also provide subsidies in land, land prices, lease prices, water, electricity. We are, of course, as a government entity, we are also in collaboration with other government entities such as civil defense, civil aviation, to make sure that you get all these approvals ready also. So cost of running a company, cost of setting a company covered, cost of living. I'll give you an example. So we have an office in Dubai. I work in Dubai office to tend to our clients who come to Dubai in the beginning, because everyone knows Dubai a lot more. I'm staying in an apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, and I pay around 90,000 dirhams a year. So that's basically around, William, maybe you can help me here to convert into dollars. I think it's around $25,000 to $30,000 a year. But in the same cost in Ras Al Khaimah, you can literally have a 5-bedroom villa in Ras Al Khaimah, or a lot more, with a garden, with a pool. It's very cost effective. And but honestly, it's not time to rent there; it's time to buy there. I'm sure William will agree. Dr. William will definitely agree with me on that part. Now, going to the next slide, Bonnie. So, as mentioned, there are different types of licenses that you can open. You can have industrial, educational, e-commerce, general trading. That means you can trade whatever you want. One day I'm selling combs, the other day I'm selling laptops, and the other day I'm selling furniture. I'm not restricted to sell a specific item. I can basically take a commercial license where I'm actually selecting a specific item to trade. Media, professional services such as consultancy, or let's say legal consultancy, HR consultancy, services, for example, services broker, one of my favorite activities. So we have a wide range of activities, and GCC being very open to our of investors coming in from outside the UAE. We have recently also released alcohol license. If you want to sell alcohol in the UAE, that is also possible now. Because UAE is known for tourism, and Ras Al Khaimah is going to become the pinnacle of tourism very soon in the UAE, overlapping Dubai very soon. So these are the types of companies that you can open with Rakez in Ras Al Khaimah or in the UAE to tend to customers in the UAE or outside the UAE. Boy, to the next slide, please. Perfect. So as mentioned, I will tell you what you basically receive, like the basics. When you open up a company, you get all the legal documents. We give you a beautiful co-working space, free of cost. It's a very Google-styled, funky, peppy co-working space, very Google-styled, which is always free of cost, 24/7 available. You get Wi-Fi, you get printing free of cost. You have an event space, you have meeting rooms, conference rooms. Everything is available there. But let's say if you want to step up a little bit high, you can have your own private office. You can have warehouses, cold storages, land plots where we can build your own factory there. We also provide education licenses where we have had multiple universities come in, such as London School of Business. They have a branch here in Ras Al Khaimah, and we have done that for them. Hotels and properties. We have 3 ports. We have an airport as well. The airport is still under renovation. It's pretty small as of now, but trust me, it is going to blow all of your minds once it's completely done. I've seen it myself. Of course, can't speak much about it, but because I want to keep a little bit of a surprise, and I want to make sure that all of you watching and all of you being here to visit UAE and see it for yourself. Going to the next slide, we will be concluding now. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my contact details. You can take down my email or my number, or that's a QR code right there. You can scan it, save my contact. If you have any questions, any queries, I'll be more than happy to assist. And before I hand it over to Bonnie, can I answer any questions that anyone might have here on the chat?
So, as you're waiting for more questions, there's something you grazed over, which I think is key, because Ras Al Khaimah is, first of all, the fact that you have a liquor license. That's a huge, it just shows you that the inclusivity that UAE and generally the GCC right now is moving into a very inclusive, cosmopolitan. Because one of the things I always get, one of the pushbacks I always get when I'm talking about GCC, guys are like, there's too many restrictions. Are you sure guys are open to, and then the casino that's coming in. I've been down there. If you guys follow me, I saw it. Like the Las Vegas trip is coming down to Ras Al Khaimah. I think you really need to emphasize on that point.
Of course. So, Bonnie, as you mentioned, that many individuals think that it could be a bit restrictive, especially the GCC. I will not disagree with them, because before it used to be the case, but now it's completely the opposite. And we are the ones which need to educate the investors who would want to consider UAE being their main point of business location. As you mentioned about the casino, right? As you know, that casinos, gambling, this is something which does not happen in the GCC, and it's completely frowned upon. But Ras Al Khaimah took this as a challenge, and it's coming soon in 2027. You can imagine that Dubai was not able to do this. Ras Al Khaimah got it done. And it is going to be a proper casino inside the country, not a casino which is going to be on a boat, on a cruise. It is going to be a physical casino, which is a huge step when it comes to flexibility of doing business. One more thing that I had mentioned, that you can also have an alcohol license now. Of course, alcohol also seen something in the GCC location, which is a little bit not preferred, but you can see that this is something which is also being sent out there, that if you have a business in terms of selling alcohol or trading alcohol, you can do that. We have a company coming up. It's an Indian beer brand. I cannot name anything as of now, but they have taken up a land and they're going to build a factory to manufacture alcohol. It's never happened ever. Casinos, hotels, it's never happened before. So things are changing. Things are changing to the good. And trust me, as I mentioned previously as well, when I started, Ras Al Khaimah is what Dubai was 15 years ago. Of course, we did not know in the past that Dubai would change, but you will see multiple people, even yourself, when you went to Ras Al Khaimah, you can see that, yes, this time we actually know what will happen. So exactly. It's right in front of you. So might as well take a chance and see it for yourself.
Exactly. Get in on the ground floor.
Exactly.
So thank you a lot. Thank you, Dash. That was really, really informative and really helpful. Some of my friends, when I was inviting them, I was telling them Ras Al Khaimah, they're like, what is that? They're like, is that a dish? Is that a dish you eat when you go to Dubai? So, and that's what I love about this business summit. And that's why we're calling it the Africa UAE Business Summit, because everybody knows about Dubai and everybody knows about Abu Dhabi, but we're bringing you opportunities that, thank me later. It's one of those thank me later opportunities where you'll be like, hey, thank God I got onto this business summit and got in on the ground floor. So thank you very much, Dash. I'm going to let you rest for now as I bring in my next guest, who is Henry. This is our fellow Kenyan. Hi, Henry. Is Henry with us?
Hi.
Hey.
Yes, I'm
here. Henry. Are you an Omera? From your name, I can tell that
yes,
you
I
come
am
from the lakeside.
related to Obama.
This is actually, for all of you who don't know, this is a
Can you see
relative
the
of
resemblance?
Obama.
I look like Obama, right? Yes. I
Oh,
call him
okay.
cousin. He's my cousin.
Call him cousin. For those who can't relate to it's an inside joke among Kenyans because Henry, Obama's dad came from the lakeside, and so anybody who comes from the lakeside is already a relative of Obama. Yeah. So, Henry, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
So, Henry, I think you are an amazing example of a Kenyan going to the UAE and going to Dubai, particularly, setting up a company, going through your challenges, and then now here you are, running a very thriving business. Maybe let me just interact with you a little bit. Tell me about your journey. How did you get in, and how has the journey been so far?
Well, I came to the UAE. This is my 9th country. I came to the UAE sometime, I think, in 2019, and it has all been employment, and all that. And well, sometimes you get to realize that you're not built for employment. There's this guy from Shark Tank. I like him so much, Kevin Leary. He says that salary is a drug when you get hooked to it and all that. Yeah, but also there's a point in time also you get to interact with people, certain things, different cultures and all that. Then you come and realize that maybe you're better off if you actually do your own or build your own and start something similar like that, because with different cultures you don't get one. There's so much confusion, misunderstandings, and all kind of stuff. So for me, it was a risk. I had tried starting actually a startup in Kenya. Did not go very, very, very well. So you can imagine in a new country, new terrain, new faces, new people. It was definitely challenging. Now I don't have university papers, and you know how out here they actually value university papers. So also that brings in a challenge in terms of when you want to apply for jobs, because all systems actually here, and actually that was one of the key reasons why I opted to develop the solution I developed, which we'll talk about later. So we'll eliminate you in as much as you're actually good at what you do. Most how do you call it? Most of us who come from Africa, when we come here, we basically just want to head straight into hospitality. And one HR, the first company that I actually joined, the HR, it's a lady, and she said, she really doesn't like that. She was like, we need to try and be adventurous. We need to take risks at times. You've come in with a degree in accounting or economics. Why do you just want to do security or want to be a bouncer in a club? It doesn't add up. Why can't you do consultancy and all that? But there are those fears, and we get so comfortable with the fact that, okay, I already have a job that is providing for me. So taking risks is not, it's not part of what you want to do. Now, in my case, I think I just had to take a risk, and it was one big risk. Trust me, it was one big risk.
Awesome. Then the journey, we were talking earlier and we were talking about the power of network and how important it is to have the network. You went in, tried to get in on your own, and then now started doing some serious networking. What would you say was the biggest difference between the two approaches?
Trying to go it alone in a new terrain not doesn't work. It doesn't work. And with networking, there are certain things that I came to realize. You're not limited in terms of access to potential customers. The network already has a pool of customers to talk to. Word of mouth referrals, and trust me, since I did a presentation at during the session at Enish with the UAE Africa Networking Group. It's been amazing, overwhelming. In fact, it has made me go back. Today morning, I think we had a session with Dr. William, but I was telling him, right now it's no longer about how much money I can make, but am I really ready to handle the traffic that is definitely coming in? Partnership and collaborations, they do work. I don't have to set up a marketing team, thanks to the arrangements that we are having with clients of UAE and Africa Networking, actually willing to go ahead and do this for me. And they have actually been doing this. I've not yet gotten any bill yet. I know there's a bill that will come with that. But you can imagine they're already putting in all the resources available to make sure that within their databases, we need to get, we need you to get this, how do you call this? These numbers up. Industry insights. To be honest, we might think we know everything, and when you're actually working alone, you'd think you know that. But when you sit with different people, the UAE networking group does not just have a focus on investment within the UAE. But you'll find that we have guys from Scotland, we have guys from Europe, we have guys from the United States. The last session we had a Danish guy, very interesting chap, and they give you a certain perspective, and you have to sit back and relook and redevelop. So you see, my system right now, as we speak, is being redeveloped with focus on not just Africa or just Dubai alone. But now I have to look at the greater GCC market. I have to look at Latin America. I have to look at all this. So there are translations, there are things and all that. And through all that, this collaboration is creating opportunities for people. I have to get somebody who can do Arabic translation and French for the France market. I have to get somebody. So it just expands how the industry and the insights to it. Access to resources and expertise. That one, it goes without saying. It's been amazing. In fact, it's now all about making a decision of who you want to work with. Everybody wants to work with you. People want to come in not just as passive investors or like, they're not just passive investors into the business. They want to come in and they want to be able to support you. They want to work with you. They believe in your system. And that is one thing that I think I lacked at one point when I was doing I was building the system, because I had locked myself in a place and I just said, I'm just going to write this solution. And at one point you wake up and you say, is there anybody who's going to like this? So you start questioning yourself. So the minute I presented this, all that, in fact, as I'm telling you, my fear right now is, am I going to be able to handle the traffic? So almost the last 30 days, my focus has been to harden the system, to get a team to be able to support me now, because I can't now handle it alone, bring in resources and all that. And it's the same networking group that has given me a team to say, look, we're going to handle the sales for you. We're going to give you this. We're going to introduce you to so and so and so. Through them, we're going to get funding. You're going to get your team up and running, and you're going to push it. And, so it's been an interesting journey. A year down the line, I did not think that it would get to this. I had so many doubts. I think I lost my mind so many times during the development process. But right now I sit back, I look back, I just laugh. I just say like, okay, now am I even prepared for this monster?
Wow. And I mean, there's a saying, there is a common saying that if you want to go far, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, walk with people. And I think that's a key. It's a keynote, but maybe many of us really need to just appreciate the fact that there are people who've been somewhere, they've done something, and instead of you trying to, try and go at it alone, let's join, let's work together. And I think one of the things I've really come to appreciate is the fact that small minds compete, but big minds complement. So the idea is, how can we work together? Yeah. And actually, yes, continue.
And that's why I really appreciate what the UAE networking group is trying to do. Maybe they wouldn't know how much in terms of not just by or providing us credibility in terms of credibility when you're presented there in front and you get to present there, everybody will want to work with you. But I wish for some of my I don't know, I'll say friends or former colleagues or something like that. I wish we could just all try and do that and focus on basically just, it's not a competition. When I'm talking about an idea, it's not like I'm bragging or something. Why don't you look at that idea and see how you can also gain from it? You see, I presented an idea. Pace Business Solutions saw it as an opportunity where they can also make money out of it. They are investing a lot of monies and resources to ensure that it goes out into the market. They're not looking at this guy is bragging, but basically this is an opportunity. Now that is one letdown that I believe we have out here. And that's why I was also saying that we don't take risks. We don't want to take risks out here, but I would believe that when you don't get to interact with people, that networking bit, when you don't have an opportunity or an avenue to network, then you wouldn't want to take that risk. Because I can tell you for a fact that at one point I felt like I wanted to go back to employment.
Wow. So let me go over to the chat. I can see Hazel Gobeni saying, "Well done, Henry." Beryl Favor Ocheng. Is that your fellow? Your fellow tribesman? Someone from your village.
Yeah.
Beryl Favor is saying, "Ow, I'm cheering you on, Henry." Hazel also said very interesting news about RAC. Valentine Wangoing saying, "Time to move there." I'm sure Adash is still with us. You can hear, but Valentine wants to move to Rakas. So Jeffrey E. Beja also saying thanks, Adash. Real Tech is very up and coming. So Dao Gazuru saying, "Glad to be here, looking to enter UAE market, supplying, exporting goat and sheep, macadamia and cashew nuts package." Dao will definitely reach out to you and see how we can help you with that. So a lot of comments. Thanks guys for following. This has been great. Maybe just before we wind up, because I think we've short of a little time. But I can see Mustalia Hassan. Hassan Ali from King's Developers is with us. Let me see. So thank you very much, Henry. Thank you for your time. Thank you also for sharing with us your experience. I'm sure many guys have learned, especially guys from Kenya. And one thing I have to congratulate you, when I started working a lot with Dubai and the UAE, I realized Nigerians are getting in, Ghanaians are getting in, South Africans are getting in, but a lot of Kenyans, just like you say, we focus a lot. We go to Dubai, we end up just working in restaurants and hotels, and we don't take full advantage of the business opportunities there. And I really have to congratulate you for taking that amazing step.
All right. Thank you so much. It's a the tech world here is a little bit also, let me just add one thing. The tech world, it's challenging. So not everybody would want, and I think I really appreciate the help that has been given so far to ensure that my systems and everything, I run a HRMS platform. So I don't develop, I actually create solutions for SMEs, and they subscribe onto the system. So it's not like the company goes out to, so we just recently launched a projects and human resource payroll solution which is quadlyhr.com. The guys can go check it out online. And let me get your feedback. Currently, there's a sandbox. You can do all the tests on it and let me know your thoughts.
Okay, Henry, thank you very much. And say hi to Obama.
I will. I'll definitely. I have a call with him over the weekend.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that was Henry Okode, a tech entrepreneur who came from Kenya, went to Dubai, and was able to do amazing things. So let me try add Mustali. Mustali, are you with us?
Yes.
Hi, Mustali.
Hi, Boni. How are you?
Very good. Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you very much. So Ramadan Kareem to you as well.
Yeah. How is everything? I know I know you couldn't join us earlier because you are finalizing it with iftar and everything. But how is everything going?
All good. Thank you very much. What about you? Okay. How is everything going on?
Going on here is great. We've been having amazing conversations. We've talked. Guys have found out more about Rakas and Ras Al Khaimah. Henry was just telling us about his journey of breaking into Dubai, and that was amazing. Mustali is also an amazing Kenyan who is doing great things in Kenya. One of the things I love about your story is you're doing. In fact, when I was driving to the office in the evening, I actually passed by one of your properties, and I'm like, there you are. So tell us more about what you're doing in the real estate space.
Okay.
And talk to us.
Okay. So basically, we are a fully Kenyan-based company. My great-grandfather came from India to Kenya at around early 1900s. So basically, we've been doing. We have a company called Royal Group Kenya. It is fully based in Kenya. It has sister companies, which include manufacturing and real estate. So we have factories. Our factories are based in Nakuru, in Kenya, and we do real estate as well. The company is King's Developers, as you mentioned earlier. So we range from low-end, mid-end, and high-end properties all around Kenya, from Nairobi, Nakuru, Eldoret, and Eldoret. And so we're fully based in Kenya. As I mentioned, we do affordable housing as well. We are the only private developer in the whole of Kenya who work in hand with the Kenyan government in affordable housing. We've done around almost 50 projects in Kenya, from lower affordable housing to mid-end to high-end apartments. And yes, I think that is of what we exactly do in Kenya as a Royal Group company.
For those who are watching us, especially from across Africa, what would you say about the Kenyan real estate? Where are the opportunities? Where is the ground floor?
So Kenyan real estate, we've been in the real estate sector for the past 20 years. I think real estate in Kenya is the only business in Kenya which does not go up and down in terms of political damage or anything. I think it's a very stable business in terms of rental income, in terms of ROI. The property value as well. We've never experienced the property value depreciating. We only expect it to go higher and higher, and that is how it has been going so far. You can expect a ROI in Kenya, depending on the project, from around 8 to 12% ROI. The higher side, maybe if you go as the highest the value of the property, I think you can go up to 12%. For affordable housing, you are expecting easily 8% ROI, which in our experience, I don't think any other country in Africa has a very stable real estate market, and which are basically guaranteed ROI. The market is there for it. We actually have, I think, a deficit of more than 200 units per year. according to the government, they need at least more than 200,000 units per year in affordable housing. And so far at the moment, we are achieving around 50,000 units per year. So we're still in a deficit. So in the upcoming years, I think the rental market is still going to go higher. So yes, I think the Kenyan, comparatively to if you're talking about UAE as well, the UAE market, you can expect ROI for around 4 to 6%. Maybe on a good day, 8%. But for Kenyan market, I think it's a very consistent market, a very easy market to invest in. And even though now I think we're getting some better news of the shilling appreciating in value as well. So that is a better opportunity for investors to come in right now as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because the shilling has been really strong last couple of months. There's a little bit of volatility, but I think right now it's settled and it's strong, and all indicators look like it's going to continue strengthening. Now, when you talk of real estate, what are those assurances? Because in this market, a lot of people coming from outside, they're a bit jittery about the assurances, because we've had a lot of not so good cases. Some people have not had good experiences. Even locals have not had good experiences with real estate. So what are some of those assurances that you've built into your business module to ensure that people's investments are secure?
Okay, so basically, us as Kings developers, we have, as I mentioned before, we have been in this business for the past 20 years. We have over 50 projects in Kenya. We only have two major goals when we do real estate. One is finishing the project in timelines, and one is the ROI of customer satisfaction in terms of the payment plans we offer. The payments plan we offer, and since we've been doing, I think, for the past 20 years, and we've made a reputation of finishing all projects in the timelines which we give. So that has brought a lot of investors, mainly Kenyans, from outsiders as diaspora clients to the Kenyan market. Most of them are from UAE, from UK, US, Germany. So because of that, because of the assurance which we give, because of the timelines which we deliver in, because of our payment plans, I think that is a very easy place for Kenyans to trust us on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the things that maybe people need to have that understanding, and that's why we are bringing you this amazing panel, so that then you get to interact directly with the right people. Because in this particular market, you really have to come in and get the right people. And I'm sure Mustali will agree with me that when it comes to other markets, you can just go in and you probably you can wing it. Okay? Yeah. But when you're coming to Kenya, you really have to make sure that you get it right, and you get the right person. You get the right person, and you'll have a very smooth ride. But if you land on the wrong person, you're going to have a very, very bad,
And unfortunately, also, that is very common in Kenya as well, unfortunately. So that is why we provide all clients, all customers with a very safe and secure plan on what is the next step forward, on how you can do your payment plans. Because we are, as Kings developers, we are very flexible when it comes to payment plans, as we are working hand in hand with the government as well in affordable housing. So the concept of Boma Yangu, there's a concept of Boma Yangu in Kenya, which the government has come up with. So that is a very safer, as I mentioned, when you're working with the government, I think you have a safer spot with the clients as well, knowing that the government is trusting on this company. Then I think it's very easy for the clients to convince themselves on trusting a company as well.
Okay, good. So now I'm going to give you an opportunity to just do a straight-on pitch. Tell me right now, what are your hot sales? What's available right now if someone wants to invest in some real estate?
Okay. So currently, at the moment, we have 6 ongoing projects. We just completed one in Nakuru. It was with the affordable housing domain with the government. The president of Kenya came to do the opening of it as well. Another project, we have two ongoing projects of affordable housing, one in Ruiru and one in Thika. The Ruiru one is the 1,050 units, and the one in Thika is 950 units. Both of them containing studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms. Again, in the 2 bedrooms, we have different type of 2 bedroom ensuite, 2 bedroom master ensuite. The size of the unit, all of them are different as well. So those are into affordable housing. We are coming up with, hopefully this year, we will be doing another project in Eldoret, again in affordable housing. We have one project in near Junction Mall, near Lenana School. That is mid to high end, mid end. That those units go for 9.5 million shillings. And if you compare, or if I'm talking about affordable housing, if you're talking about it with any other country in the world, I don't think you will in any other country in the world you will be able to own a house for less than $10,000. That is the starting price. $7,500 is how much you're paying for a studio. I don't think, if you're comparing it with Dubai, I don't think that's even 1 month's rent here. So in Kenya, you can own a house and with guaranteed returns of at least minimum of 7 to 8%. And then, as I said, we have another project in near Lenan School called King's Vintage. We have another project which is mid to high end King's Courtyard. Those apartments are going for 17 million shillings. Those are 2 bedroom and 3 bedroom apartments. And we have another high end. It's called King's Apollo. That's in Kileleshwa. Those are going for 30 million shillings.
Wow. So guys, reach out to us, Mawaidha, info@Mawaidha Africa will be able to give you that, or info@UAEANG, and definitely we'll be able to give you that. And maybe Mustalia, you put together a nice portfolio, which then we can share with guys across multiple platforms. They can check into it, and just like you said, great easy entry, because it's a low cost. I mean, compared to other real estate opportunities, it's easy entry because you can get in a very low cost, but then the return in terms of the percentage, definitely you get a higher percentage. So definitely a worthwhile investment and safe, because obviously you're dealing with someone who's been vetted. Okay, you're dealing with some. I mean, we take our credibility very seriously. So obviously, we wouldn't bring you someone that we are not so sure of. Someone who's vetted, as Mustali said, they've been in the business for a minute. And so if you're coming, I mean, one thing I would advise you in Kenya, if you don't get the right person, don't even come in. Honestly, that's just my honest opinion, because I don't want to lie to you. And so Mustalia and King's Development, King Developer is definitely the right way to go. And maybe in future, when we're doing sessions on real estate, we can go a bit deeper into the offerings. But for now, thank you very much, Mustali. This has been amazing. Let me see if anyone is asking questions. Let me go to anyone asking questions. Very relatable. Evelyn Jerry saying, I guess that's it. I've not been checking out. Oh yeah, a lot of messages actually on LinkedIn. Let me just check. Evelyn saying, inspiring story, Henry. Peter Lee saying, thank you for the valuable insights and excellent content. Let this be the first of many business summits to bring opportunities to conduct business between Africa, UAE, closer. Brother Peter. Peter, definitely this will be the first of many. And just even from the huge response we've gotten, definitely it's something we're going to be doing. Kia Simmons is saying we're building 152 units this year in Kenya. So this is true. Kia Simmons, Travis Culture. Yeah, also very interesting story about someone who's come from the US and trying to help African Americans who are trying to repatriate. So maybe Kia, we can have you on one of these days to tell us more about that. And I love the Pan-African. There's a huge Pan-African movement that's really going on, and the likes of William, myself, Kia, also a lot of guys whom I've interacted with, like First Second guys are really getting. There's a huge Pan-African movement going on, and it's so exciting to be part of this. Wangari Sharon is saying, did I miss the requirement for opening up a business? Interested about liquid license. So Wangari, the team, take a note on that. Wangari Sharon, we will reach out to you and just give you more of that. Success Caroline is saying, thank you for the invite. It's a privilege to be part of making history. Regards. Yes, definitely. History in the making, get it on the ground floor. That's really my takeaway. Don't wait. With the opportunities Mustali is telling you, don't wait 5-10 years when guys are enjoying great returns and they're telling you stories and you're watching them on news. Don't read about opportunities in the newspaper. Get in on the ground floor. Jeffrey E. Baja is saying, correct, Africa, we've got 2 properties in Africa, UAE, Turkey International Real Estate, fractional ownership. That is good. So, yes, so great conversations. Thank you very much,
Mustali. There's a question on the chat.
Okay.
Has asked about elaboration on how affordable housing works.
Please do. It's for those who are not from the country. There's been a lot of conversation around the government investing a lot in affordable housing. Mm-hmm. So maybe, Mustali, you can just clarify a little bit about that.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what affordable housing is the Kenyan government has an agenda of, as we all know, that African situations are not always so very green. So they're more focused in the affordable housing. They've created a platform called Boma Yangu, in which you can go to the platform and you can register yourself for a house, or you can also come to the developer directly. So as I mentioned before, Kings Developers Limited, we are the only private developer working hand in hand with the government in affordable housing. So far, we have done 4 projects of affordable housing. One called King Serenity in Ongata Rongai with 734 units. One project in Nakuru. The one in Ongata Rongai and the one in Nakuru are completed, sold out, and both opening done by the president himself. The one in Nakuru is called King Sapphire, 605 units. We have launched two projects early last year. One is called King's Orchid, that is in Thika, just near Thika Road. Those are 950 units, and one in Ruiru called King's Boma Estate. Those are 1,050 units. So affordable housing basically are units starting from 1 million to 5 million, depending on what type of unit you choose. They come in studios, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms. So yes, this is just an overall of what affordable housing is. And right now it is, in terms of real estate, it is the most booming business when it comes to real estate in Kenya. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, and just to add, especially for those who are listening from outside, this is just in response to the huge gap that we have in terms of inadequate housing in the country. And so the government has really been pushing that. And maybe just to ask, so is it available for people from outside, or it's only sold to locals, the affordable housing?
It is only sold to Kenyans.
Okay.
So in order for you to own one, you need to have a valid proof of identification that you are a Kenyan.
And so you're saying people can apply directly with you guys?
Yes, you can either. So basically, the government have a number of units as well in each project. So you can either go on their platform called Boma Yangu, but to make it more easier, you can also come to us, to the developer directly, and you can buy the unit more easily. Why I'm saying that? Because the government has a waiting line for more than, I think, 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people. So you're in that line. But if you come to us directly, if the unit is available, that is the deal closed directly.
Wow, wow, wow. So you had it, Kenyans, getting on the ground floor. Oh, this is perfect example of getting on the ground floor, man. I mean, we talk a lot, and maybe just to encourage the guys out there, we talk a lot as Kenyans on Twitter and all those things, but when it comes down now to taking actual opportunities, this is where, the rubber meets the road. So don't just tweet about affordable housing. Mustali is here. We have his contacts. Come on, come in, grab. And this also applies even for Kenyans in diaspora, right?
Yes, diaspora. We have a lot of Kenyan diaspora clients as well. As I mentioned, from UK,
there you go.
Germany, we have a lot of them coming in now.
There you go. So if you're a Kenyan in diaspora, come in, grab a unit for yourself, for your uncle, for your sister, for your cousin, sister, and brother, cousin, all of them. So Natalie is here to just make sure that you have access to this amazing opportunity. And thank you so much for that. But also you have other luxury products for which guys from outside can buy, right?
Yes, those ones they are not a must for only Kenyans to buy. Any person, any nationality can invest in Kenya. As I said, I think in Africa, in a lot of from most of African countries, Kenya is a very safe place to invest. The real estate market is very stable for the past 20-25 years, and there's no reason, not even political reasons, for the market going up or down.
There you go. So, Mustalis, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate. We will definitely get more content. We'll put together more content from you and share it with anybody who is interested. So, thank you very much. I'm gonna now
thank you very much.
You rest a little bit. Oh, okay, karibu sana. And now I'm gonna bring in William so that we can bring this to a close. Hi, William.
Yes, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
No, we can't.
So what do you... Huh? What did you say?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't see you. We can't see you, but we can hear you. Just go ahead.
Very good. Today was an example of what's to come. Part 2 will be even better. What do you want to talk about in part 2? Investments, how to fund your project, perhaps. What do you think? What's the next set of topics that you'd like to talk about?
So I think we mentioned we're bringing in Talib, and so I think we should look at the barriers of entry, especially those cultural nuances, because in our experience, the first step is to recognize the opportunity, but the second challenge that a lot of people face are some of those barriers of entry. Cultural barriers of entry, systematic barriers of entry on both sides, because there's a way we operate in Kenya, there's a way things operate in Dubai, and I think we'll have also a deeper understanding of the different cultures in Dubai, because one thing you have to appreciate about Dubai is that it's a big. We're talking 200. Nationalities. Even now, Ras Al Khaimah, that is now growing, even Abu Dhabi, it's a hugely diaspora market where we're actually dealing with multiple cultures. So when you're going into UAE, you are literally going into the world. You don't think that, so you need to understand, you need to have a very global perspective for the Africans going into UAE. And for those in the UAE trying to come into Kenya, into Africa generally, same thing, you have to understand the Africans, yes, but they're very, very different. So I think we can look at some of those elements of barriers of entry and also discuss a little bit about culture. This is what we always say about culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Find investment in this market, and even for Africa, some of the things that you need to take into consideration, number one. And then, as you mentioned, the cultural nuances, things that you need to be aware of when doing business in this market. But I would like to also hear from the audience, everybody who's tuned in today, if there's something that you would like to get from this Business Summit series. We're doing this over the next 3 weeks, today being the first one. Let us know what it is that you from the UAE to the table as well. And I think also we're going to talk also about the creative industry in the UAE and how you can be a part of the renaissance that's taking place here. There's a festival that's happening in November here called the All Africa Festival. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but there's amazing opportunities there for Africans who want to actually showcase their goods, whether it's hair care. Also, if you're an up and coming artist and you'd like to be on stage, reach out. Also, All Africa Festival. Now, how you get a hold of me? Very easily. You can go to our Instagram, UAE_Africa Networking Group. Send me a DM. Let me know that you attended today, and we're happy to help you, get into this market or get in touch with anybody you've heard today. And then also for next week, like I said, we're going to continue this series, and this is for you. Take advantage of it. Tell a friend, tell a colleague, tell your neighbor that this is happening, and this is all for you. Okay? And again, I want to thank Bonnie for putting this together. I want to thank Pulse for being a part of this and live streaming it for us and being a partner. I think this is an important dialogue and one that we definitely need to leverage and to continue to take advantage of. So that's my pitch. Over to you, Mr. Bunny.
Thank you very much. So join us again next week. Just as William has said, we'll be looking at some of the cultural barriers and then also looking at creative sector, because the creative sector is one of those bridges. They create bridges. My good friend and colleague in the industry, Liz Lenjo, had actually asked me a couple of questions about the creative sector. So we will definitely be delving deeper into the creative sector next week. Cultural barriers, the creative sector, and how the creative sector can bridge those gaps, and also what are some of the opportunities available for the creative sector, both in the creative sector in Africa, in the UAE, but also for venture capitalists who are looking to invest into the African creative sector. So I think that is it for our first ever Africa UAE Business Summit. I know, William, I threw you off because you're used to saying UAE Africa, but I'm an African man, so I have to put Africa first.
No problem. Put Africa first. Absolutely. Don't have any problem. But see, we're here in the UAE, so we have to say UAE first. All we do, we support Africa in every way, shape, or form that we can. We want to see Africa rise.
Definitely. So this is just the first, and a big thank you to Pulse Live Kenya. And one thing I have to say about Pulse Live, they are a pan-African platform. Those who are from Kenya, I know you always confuse Pulse Live with, there's another Pulse, not that one. The guys from Kenya know the Pulse I'm talking about, not that entertainment platform. This is Pulse Live, which is a pan-African platform with covers across Africa. They have there's Pulse Kenya, there's Pulse Nigeria, there's Pulse Uganda, Pulse Ghana, and I think Pulse Cote d'Ivoire. So catch all the platforms of Pulse Live, particularly Pulse Kenya and Pulse East Africa. Thank you very much for airing this. UAE Africa Networking Group, William and the team, thank you very much. And of course, a big thank you to Mawaidha Africa. And I didn't even talk about Mawaidha, but just to give you a small brief, Mawaidha is a pan-African agency focused on brand marketing, sales, and communication. We're a Pan-African agency with a global view. And one of our passions is to help African entrepreneurs literally go global, but also help other, companies from across the world who are trying to come into Africa, to come in and get a smooth sailing. And so Mawaida Africa team, big kudos to you. You ran this, despite all the challenges, you ran this. You guys are really the star of the show. So guys, that's all from us. This particular video is still going to be available on all the platforms. It's going to be available on our Facebook. It's going to be available on my personal LinkedIn. And definitely also you catch more of these conversations also on Pulse Live. We're going to find ways to package it and definitely continue this. So thank you very much from the team here at Mawaida. That's it. We'll definitely see you next time for the Africa UAE Business Summit, Part